Ladies and gentlemen, digital investors, welcome back to another video where we cover everything that is going on inside of the crypto space. I got a really good one for you guys here today, and I really just want to cut straight to the chase, right? Obviously, we're going through some market-wide red. This has been a ruthless dump that is taking place. We had Bitcoin well over $50,000 before this dump started. We are now sitting at 47,000, pretty much flat. Ethereum's at 3,400. Cardano is at $2.40. We have Solana at 175. We have XRP at 109. Solana actually, not dumping too hard. That's one of the few coins that is, relatively unaffected so far. Doesn't mean it's not going to dump, but so far it's been holding up pretty strong in relation to the rest of the crypto market. Now, this is pretty interesting because it's coming on September 7th, which is today. And what is today? Today is the Bitcoin day in El Salvador, where Bitcoin becomes legal tender. I guess El Salvador president was talking a little bit about them having some issues, some server capacity issues with their Chivo wallet, which I guess the Chivo wallet is what they're using to send everybody $30 worth of free Bitcoin. As we know, El Salvador was going to send every citizen $30 worth of Bitcoin. We also had people like Michael Saylor posting about buying $30 worth of Bitcoin today and really hyping this up. I remember I saw a poll that Michael Saylor posted, and it was pushing like 90% of people that were saying that they were going to buy Bitcoin today. Now, of course, this is retail traders, and retail traders are always being led to the slaughter. So I can't really say it's surprising that this dump came today on the same day where a bunch of retail is supposed to be buying on the same day, which is a big, a historic day for El Salvador and them dropping Bitcoin. It's really not that surprising, right? If a dump was going to come, today would be literally the perfect day for it because there's going to be retail liquidity there to dump your bags. Bitcoin, as of right now, at $47,300. And as we can see, guys, yes, it definitely has fallen off a cliff. But honestly, I am feeling very, very blessed by this. I got some really great entries on some coins that I really wanted to accumulate a bigger position on. Even was able to pick up an NFT for pretty cheap that I wanted to get into. So I'm honestly grateful for this dump, which I know is probably the contrarian opinion. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling kind of wrecked right now. But I'm so glad it came because this one coin I wanted to get, I felt like I was just not going to be able to get a position on it. And I will be letting you guys know exactly what I bought inside of the Patreon, and I do have a new coin, so I'll be publishing that coin that I picked up on this dip, which is still dipped, and I will also be posting a review on that, letting you guys know the potential I see in it and everything else, my research on it. So if you're a Patreon, keep your eyes open for that, and if you're not a Patreon, the first link in the description will take you to my Patreon page. If you want to see what we're doing in there, we have a lot of cool stuff going on. Check out that first link in the description. Also, guys, for those of you who are in the Patreon, make sure you check out the most recent post. It is packed with information and packed with some really cool stuff that I think is going to perform really well over the next few months. Also, guys, this is my thoughts on the market for any of you guys wondering. People beg for cheaper prices. Cheaper prices present themselves and people sell. Makes absolutely no sense, right? I mean, if you just looked at Twitter or YouTube comments just yesterday, you had people very bullish saying that, if a dip was to come, buy the dip, and now people are selling. People are freaking out. They're losing their heads. Guys, when there's blood in the streets, buy, even if it's your own blood, right? Very famous quote, and I'm just so shocked that people continue to make the same mistakes over and over again, right? I feel like I shouldn't even have to get on here and say that you never sell blood, but it seems like the same mistakes being repeated over and over and over again, and I truly just don't understand it, right? If you wanted cheaper prices and now cheaper prices are here, why are you not buying and why are you feeling sell pressure? This is what you wanted. This is definitely what I wanted, and I'm now taking advantage of the situation. And I really do hope that you guys are also taking advantage of the situation for whatever way that it benefits you. Now, always keep in mind that during this dump, while everything is pulled back, nothing has changed structurally. The bull run is still in play and nothing has changed fundamentally. That we still have tons of volume coming in. I did see some USDC and USDT being printed, which we all know what that means. Honestly, guys, I think in the grand scheme of things, this is going to be a blip on the radar, something that we will all just forget about. I'm sticking with my plan. We also have institutions are all over the crypto markets but face barriers to entry. Okay, and we know institutions been coming in. Just look at Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy and of the slew of others that have got in. But Raoul Pal is pretty much saying that there are even more that want to get in, but there's some barriers here. So let's check out. And guys, if there were institutions on the side, do you think they're buying right now? Do you think whales that have been waiting to buy, do you think they're buying right now on probably one of the best entries, right? They probably weren't buying yesterday. They probably are buying today, right? While retail is selling, whales are smart enough to be accumulating. So Raoul Pal says institutions are eager to get access to the crypto markets, but still face significant hurdles. In an interview on the Wolf of Wall Street's podcast, he says that the average person just doesn't understand how much time it takes for institutional firms to allocate capital to crypto. Institutions struggle with fitting crypto into their administrative systems that are built for traditional financial products, okay? All these institutions, they're built for the old financial world. To get them into this completely new financial digital world is going to take some time. It's going to take some reorganizing, restructuring, and upgrading to their current old outdated systems. And this is what Paul says. They are all over this. Insinuating institutions. Everybody is, but it takes a while. People don't understand that for institutions to say we're going to buy Bitcoin, okay, how do you market it? What is the open? What is the close? Which price do you take? There's no singular exchange. Then how do you custody it? How do you account for it? All of this takes months of work. And right, guys, an institution's not going to just jump right in and then figure out how do I custody it and what is my exit plan later. They're going to have all of that played out, just like we should, right? Before you make an investment, you should know what is your entry strategy? What is your exit strategy? Where are you going to hold this? What are you going to do if X happens? Too many people don't run these situations through their head, and that's why on days like today, they start to panic. He goes on to say that it just takes time. There's a lot of people to get across the line, and you need to appease a lot of people. For the corporations, it's how you account for it in the GAAP accounting. The big problem is you can only mark it down. You can't mark it up, and it has volatility in your quarterly earnings. So only people like Michael Saylor will accept it, others won't. That's why corporations are slow. They want to do it. I've spoken to many, but they say these accounting rules, we don't know what to do. So clearly we have some institutions with a pretty large risk appetite that have already entered, but we could have many more that don't have quite the biggest risk appetite like these other ones who have entered so far do, but they do want to get in, right? They want to get in, they want to take on some of that risk, but it's just going to take a little more time. Things are going to need to get a little bit more clear, but once we do, as Raoul Pal has said before, we will see a tidal wave of institutions roll into this space. And that's the thing. Despite this dump today, the institutions are still going to come inside of the space once they can. Also want to show you guys this. This is from @Top7ICO, and this was retweeted by the Singularity DAO team. And we have a major announcement for Esdao. This is really exciting. I was super excited when I read this last night. But guys, Esdao will be listed on KuCoin on September the 8th. That is tomorrow. Will we see a pump? Will we see a dump? I got a feeling we might see a little bit of both. They're going to have it in the Esdao against Tether pair and also the Esdao against Ethereum pair. It is interesting because the whole market is selling off. So, could we see a pump on KuCoin? I don't know. I think the chances were a lot better if we got the listing yesterday or a few days ago. Now with everything kind of in a slump, who really knows? But with Esdao, we're here for the long term. We're not trying to flip this tomorrow on KuCoin. But of course, it is always fun to get your coin listed on a new exchange. Watch those bags pump a bit. I'm super excited for this, guys. But yeah, on KuCoin, an Esdao against USDT and Esdao against Ethereum. So if you didn't get in on the airdrop or you're not too comfortable with swapping, at least you will be able to pick some up on KuCoin starting tomorrow. Here we also have blockchain security company. This is called GK8, announces custody partnership with Stellar. And this is a pretty crazy article for what this means for Stellar. They go on to say that demand for institutional grade blockchain solutions is on the rise as banks and traditional financial institutions look to invest in cryptocurrencies. And with this, from what I've read and from what I'm going to show to you guys, we could see some institutional interest into Stellar XLM and their XLM token. With GK8 integrating into Stellar, it can access XLM investments in a custodial setting, opening the door to offline transactions of digital currency. The company announced Monday, GK8 said that its infrastructure eliminates the risk of cyber attacks while also providing scalable, high-frequency transactions. The GK8 co-founder and CEO said that this partnership enables XLM's institutional investors to, quote, generate new revenue streams, digitize assets, trade, and transform currency as it is sent. Some more background on GK8. They have secured several high-profile partnerships this past year as it continues to expand institutional blockchain infrastructure. They have a partnership with the State Street-backed Securency to extend its tokenized infrastructure, and they also engaged MasterCard in its Startup Path program, which is pretty cool. It's something I'm definitely going to look more into. This article also goes on to say that institutional appetite for cryptos is on the rise thanks to the emergence of new use cases for digital assets. A large percentage of wealth managers plan to either buy crypto for the first time or expand their holdings. Financial advisors could be leading the adoption drive right now that crypto investing has been de-risked from a reputational standpoint. I remember I talked to a financial advisor just a few years ago, and upon bringing up crypto, he told me to not get involved. It's not safe. There's not much money to be made. It is all speculation. And man, isn't it just amazing? These guys who go to school, become financial advisors, and somehow they just completely write off crypto. Just goes to show you more and more that just because an individual has a degree or has a piece of paper that says they learned something may not mean that they actually know that thing. I certainly hope that financial advisor was telling people to do their own research, because had they been listening to his research, they have missed out on one of the most parabolic moves for the crypto space that has outperformed literally every other piece of any market. We also have some NFT news, so we'll finish up the video here. We have FTX, and they're launching an NFT platform for their US-based clients. They announced the launch of their native NFT platform, and the platform is exclusive to customers in the US as of right now. It was designed to let them mint, buy, and sell custom NFTs. Each NFT will be traded cross-chain across Ethereum and Solana, so that's honestly pretty cool, guys. Deposits and withdrawals are expected to be available soon, which will allow users to deposit their external NFTs onto FTX. Users from other peer-to-peer marketplaces like OpenSea or Solana will now be able to enjoy their NFTs on FTX US, which I think that is also really, really awesome, because a lot of people do use OpenSea. So for them to be able to just switch from OpenSea to FTX, if that's what they wanted to do, it's obviously a good idea. They say due to the massive number of submissions, too many of which were just a picture of a fish, we are now charging a one-time fee of $500 to submit NFTs. And this was when, people were listing NFTs and they were getting a bunch of spam. Now, there was a bunch of kind of backlash about this, right? How could you charge a $500 fee? Most people are coming into crypto, your average person, they're coming in with maybe $500 or less to invest. So to have a $500 fee to just submit your NFT, I mean, that is kind of high. They said that it was probably going to be temporary, and shortly after, they announced that it only costs now $10 per NFT to mint them, no upfront cost, and we are refunding all the $500 that were paid. So that is really cool. I also think it's absolutely awesome that they did refund everybody who paid the $500. I don't think most companies would have done that. So to see FTX do that, it just helps to kind of build your trust in them a little bit, I guess, right? To see people who aren't so greedy that they keep the $500 even after changing the rules. It's just a nice change to see in a space that is so littered with scams. Speaking of scams, watch out for the comment section. I'm never going to tell you to hit up my WhatsApp, all right? I'm sorry, but I'm just not. Binance announced its own NFT marketplace back in June. Okay, so we also have Binance, who's probably going to open up an NFT marketplace. I don't think NFTs are just a trend, guys. Now, sure, the price going up this recently, maybe that was a trend, but I think overall, over the long term, these NFT prices are going to continue to rise. It's something that I am definitely getting more and more into, and I don't think it is a short-term trend. I think it is here to stay. I think we could see a massive wave of adoption come in through NFTs. Our fear and greed index for today is sitting in extreme greed at 79. Now, obviously, this is probably not the state of the market. This is kind of taking into account yesterday. We will have an update in 3 hours. So on tomorrow's video, we'll get a more accurate sense, maybe a more accurate sense. Sometimes this thing's a little off, but we'll probably get a more accurate sense of how the market is feeling. I got a feeling we could just see this slammed in the opposite direction all the way to fear, if not extreme fear. And that, you know, with the dump we're having and the way I see people acting, right? People who are, again, I'll bring you guys back to this tweet. People beg for cheaper prices present themselves, and they sell. Makes absolutely no sense. But anyways, guys, that is the video for today. If you enjoyed it, please tap the like button. It helps me out a ton. Also, if you made it to the end of this video, just drop a comment below. You can just say, made it to the end. I really appreciate the love. I'll definitely check the comments and give you guys a heart and a like. Also, if you're trying to stay up to date on everything going on in the crypto space, then make sure you subscribe. And if you want to hit the notification bell, then you will get notifications sent to you each and every single time I put out an upload. You guys already know this isn't financial advice, so don't take it as such. I'm having a great time documenting this crypto bull run and the daily crypto news, and everything that I express is nothing more than my opinion. Thank you all so much, and I will see you on the next one.